Okay, oh, I'm recording. Commission, I've just explained what it is, percentage of the value of goods sold, and a fixed amount called a retainer can also be paid. This is the simplest type of question. Someone's paid a commission of 3% of the value of goods, so they get 3% of the $35,500. That's a straightforward question, $1,065. This next one, a car salesman is paid the weekly retainer of $350 plus 3.5% of the value of cars that he sells. Calculate his gross income if he sells cars worth $120,000 in total. So, how do I do this question? So his sales are $120,000. They're his sales, not his pay. That's his sales. He gets $350 a week plus 3.5% of the value of the sales. So, how do I do this question? I do 3.5% of the value of his sales. So I do 3.5% of the $120,000, which is 3.5 over 100 times $120,000. The reason I'm writing 3.5 over 100 is I don't want you writing 0.35 because it's 0.035. A lot of people make mistakes with percentages when they're less than 10%. When they write them as a decimal, they always get it wrong. So I'd rather you go 3.5 over 100 times 120,000, which is 4,200. Okay. So what do they get? $4,200. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a car salesperson. So therefore, the total income for that week is the $350 plus the $4,200, which is $4,550. This $350 bit is the retainer, and that $2,500 bit is the commission. Okay? If you can have a go at question 3. So Dan is paid a commission of 4.5% of the value of book sales he makes in excess of $5,000. So let's say he sells $4,000 of books, he's not going to make a commission. He will only earn a commission for anything over $5,000. So if he sells books to exactly the value of $5,000, he still won't get a commission until he's hit $5,001. Okay? In excess of means for anything over $5,000. Okay? So in 1 week, he sells books to the value of $37,427. So he does not earn commission on the whole $37,000, okay? He earns commission on $37,427 minus $5,000. So he earns commission only on the $32,000, okay? So now the commission will be 4.5% over 100 times 32,427. I do not want you trying, unless you're going to put 0.045, please just put 4.5 over 100. As I said, any percentage less than 10%, a lot of people make mistakes with the decimal. $1,459.20. Exactly. Oh, actually, so, all right, I want it exactly what it is, 0.215. Now, look, I know if you paid in cash, they give you 20 cents, but everything these days is done online banking. They'll pay you exactly the 22 cents. So, yes, whenever it's money, you go 2 decimal places always for rounding. It's because now everything is electronic, all right? The only time that you round down or up is at a supermarket or in a shop where you're paying cash and they're only able to pay you to the nearest 5 cents. That is the only time you round to the nearest 5 cents. So unless otherwise stated, always give the proper decimal places. Unless otherwise stated, you give it to the nearest cent, okay? Okay, so a real estate person is paid according to the following rates. 3% on the first $200,000 of property sold, then 2% on any value thereafter, Calculate the commission the salesperson earned by selling a property valued at $580,000. So, this $580,000, the commission is not the same rate. So, I'm going to break this 580 up. How should I break it up? The first $200,000 is what percent commission? 3% com. Right? How much else have you got? And 2% on any value thereafter. What should I do here? I go 580 minus the 200,000 gives me $380,000 left. So that $380,000, the commission is a different rate. It's 2% commission. Okay? It's a good way to set it out, girls. I'd be working that out first. So now you can do the commission for each bit. Okay, so we want 3% of 200,000, and that to me looks like 6,000. And then we want 2% of 380,000, and that is $7,600. So the total commission is your 6,000 plus your 7,600, which is $13,600 of commission. And you know what? That's fairly realistic. Question 5 here. Nick is paid commission on the value of goods he sells over $2,000. Now this is a working backwards one. Nick sells goods to the value of $18,850 in 1 week, and his total pay is $1,348. Find his rate of commission. Now, unless he sells $2,000 worth of goods, he's not going to get commission. He did sell $18,850 worth of goods. The commission is paid on what amount of money? Is commission paid on $18,850 or something? So first step, $18,850 minus $2,000 is $16,850. If you want to work out the commission, don't you go whatever percent times $16,850 gives me my answer. I want you to set it out like that. X times $16,850 gives me the $1,348. Or do you want to go X over 100? I don't mind. Let's go X over 100. You know, let's say it was 5%. Wouldn't you go 5 over 100 times 16,850? Is that? I don't know what percent it is. All I know that it is X something over 100. If I times that by 16,850, I would get 1348. Now this, I don't want to say to you, instead of multiplying, dividing. This is the best way to do it. Whatever the commission is, rate, that times the 16,850 would give me my answer. If you set that up, then we're just solving the equation. All right, now, what can I do with this? Yeah, but what about, that's on the numerator and this is on the denominator. You know that's over 1. So let's just multiply the numerators. So, you know, I've got a fraction here times a whole number. Whenever you're doing fraction times whole number, put the whole number over 1. When you multiply fractions, don't you go 16,850 times x over what? 100. Once you've got a clear numerator and denominator, this question becomes easy. Now what do I do?
Instead of doing that,
You're multiplying a fraction by a whole number. Put the whole number over 1. When you multiply fractions, you multiply the numerators, you multiply the denominators. What is 16,850 over 100, by the way? How do you divide that by 100? Move the decimal place. Isn't that 168.5x is 1348? So therefore x is 1348 over 168.5, which is... Look, you could have gone times 100, divide by 16,850 if you want. Or, you know, when you've got two numbers here and they're divided, you should just divide them. What do we get, girls? 8, exactly 8. So it's 8. So remember, so we've got 8 over 100, so the answer is 8%. Now, if that 100 business is annoying, the other way you can do it is you can just go something times 16,850 is 1348. But if you're going to do it this way, you've got to be very careful. X is 1348 divided by 16,850, and you would get 0.08. Now, you've got to recognise if you do it this way, that is 0.08, but is 8 over 100, which happens to be 8%. Okay? So just be careful. You just got to be really careful that you don't write the interest rate as 0.08 because it's not, it's 8%. See here, I've just gone X something, I've gone 16,850 times something is the 1348. This something is my percentage. So 0.08, you're supposed to express that then as a percentage. You can just times it straight by 100 to get 8%, or you've got to recognise that that is the decimal form of the percentage. Okay? Now, all good? Yep. Now, look, these piecework questions are fairly basic. Just have a go at them. I'll just write out the answers very quickly.